Well, it's a really strange sequence of events because New York was not planned.
Okay.
So to give you context, Netflix said, let's do another special. And I said, let's do one about joy. All right. Because I think a lot of comedy these days is joy posturing as edge. But I was like, let's just do a unapologetically joy posturing as joy special. Let's make people feel happy and warm inside. So great. So we got a stadium in Mumbai. We were fortunate enough to sell it out. And I said, I'll shoot a opening to that stadium in London. So I'll do like a 7-minute opening in London, and suddenly lights will transition into this Mumbai. If you've seen the red, it looks like the pit of hell, and there's one kind of solitary this thing in there. And I lost my voice 6 weeks before the special. So now, normally when you go up and shoot a stand-up comedy special, you are your most rehearsed. You are your tightest. You have done 180 shows across the world. You're good. You know everything like the back of your hand. I could not rehearse for 6 weeks. I could not speak for 4.5 of those 6 weeks. And I started to rewrite the show because that's what I was going through. So 6 weeks later, I went up cold to 12,000 people in Mumbai that evening and did a show about silence. It ended up becoming a show about silence because it's just where I was. And I was like, the backstory to this is very important. The context to this is very important. And I like the pre-context of saying I had Netflix paid me money to do this special. I ended up doing this special, and here's why. And so then I was hosting the International Emmy Awards the next year. So we went from the Emmy Awards to a comedy club in New York, walked in and did the backstory in New York.
That's how it developed.
That's how it developed. So, and then we cut it all together. And I identified sort of theme points. So if I'm talking about homeopathy is the taking of medicine. It will cut to how social media is an addiction and the taking of medicine. So we found theme points, etc., etc. But that's how it came about.
தமிழரின் பாரம்பரிய திருவிழாவை கொண்டாடுவோம் புத்தாடை பொங்கலோடு. The Chennai Silks. Let the celebrations begin.